In this video, I want to show you how you can connect your Airtable data with Framework CMS. We have a job listing website and we want to fetch our jobs from Airtable and let the user to apply to each job via Airtable Forms and again collect the data from the form to Airtable. With that being said, Framework is going to be your website and Airtable is acting like a database. So without further ado, let's see what we have. All right, now inside Airtable, and as you can see, I have nothing, no base, no tables. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select this built-in app on your own. And as you can see, I'm gonna be redirected to the base space. The first thing, let's just basically name the base to job listing website or whatever you want. And the table needs to be basically jobs, and this is a empty, let's say, table. So I'm going to use this Omni AI assistant and I'm going to fill up the form of, let's say, the table, sorry. And I said fill up the tables with 20 job opportunities, and the fields should be basically job title, date, short description, and experience, time, and place. And I said that please fill up the records with, let's say, placeholder data. So let's just hit create. It's thinking right now, and let's just fast forward the video. So, all right, as you can see, everything is ready, and AI did is such a great job. So what we're going to do is actually, I'm going to go back to Framer, and these are the dummy data and the cards that we have. So I'm going to basically go to the CMS and try to sync the data from Airtable. We need to click on the plugins and run Airtable, which is from Framer. It's completely free. And if you don't see this model, it's because you may not logged into your Airtable account. And first you need to do that and then sync it with Framer. So let's just hit create and create a new collection. And it's going to be under the synced because it's like something like external CMS. Okay. So we're going to select the base, which is going to be job listing website, and it's loading to load basically the tables, and the jobs is the only table that we have. Okay. If we go back to the Airtable, you can see that the job listing website is the base and the jobs is the table that we have. Okay. So if we hit next, and yeah, these are the basically the content that we have to import into CMS, column, job title, date, short description. I'm going to just hit import. And as you can see, everything that we have on Airtable is going to be imported here. And let's go back to the template. Let's just remove these and let's go to the insert collections and drag the Airtable that we just created. Okay. We're not going to use those text. So I'm going to remove it and I'm going to grab this jobs card and put it into my, let's say, inserted Airtable. Okay. So it's going to be repeated multiple times, as much as CMS content that we have. So what I'm going to do is actually, we do have a limit to 10 here. If I select it to 2, it's going to only show 2. I want to remove this. I don't need it. I'm going to add a, let's say, pagination with load more. And I'm going to say I want 5 items to be shown. And as you can see, it's going to show 5 items. I'm going to say that I'm going to make it center. And basically what we need to do is actually, we need to sync the data from CMS, or let's say fetch the data from CMS to the, let's say, text that we have inside the component. Okay. And for that, we need to create, let's say, basically variables for this. So we're going to set them outside of the component here, as you can see, the job card. And I'm going to select the job title that we have on CMS. If you see, this is the job title. And for the posted at, we do have date with format. It's not going to be number. It's going to be January 21, 26, as you can see here, if you see it. Okay. So I'm going to select the card again. And for the short description, I'm going to select the short description that we have on CMS. Basically, I'm just selecting the, let's say, the fields that we have on each CMS. Okay. That's why you see that the content is changing and all of those job titles are going to be real data that we just fetch from Airtable. Okay. I'm going to do the same for time. I'm going to do the same for place and exactly the same for experience. Okay. And as you can see, now we do have all of those dynamic content. Okay. And everything is ready. I'm just going to hit play to see if the load more works fine. Okay. As you can see, it's loading 5 more content for me. And this is basically the fetching process that we just passed. And in the next part, let's go for basically how to click on this apply button and apply for exactly the same job that the user selected. All right, now we have everything ready, and what we need to do is actually we need to create another table for the applicants. And this is where the data stores or let's say the data collects from the applicants or the users that applied for this specific job. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the forms. I'm not going to do it manually. I'm going to just basically paste my prompt. Okay, and as you can see, I said create a form accepting job title input, full name input, resume input, and description input, and where the user is based at. Okay. And I said that make sure that it stores the data into a table name. I'm going to rename it to, let's say, applicants that we just created. And it reads the job title input value from the jobs table that we had before this one, I mean. Okay. So the job title is going to be read from here, and let's switch back to the forms. And yep, I said that, and please collect the applicants into applicants table. Okay, make sure you always prompt precisely. And let's hit enter and let's fast forward to see what it comes up with. All right, the form is ready and everything is organized and perfectly and precisely placed into my form. And I'm gonna just publish it. And yeah, let's see it live. As you can see, everything is done here. And what we need to do is actually, we need this job title to be pre-filled. So let's move on to the next part. I'm gonna show you how you can pre-fill this job title before the user even selects it. Okay, this is the form that we just created. And what we need to do is actually, this URL needs to pass some of the items, I mean, some of the extra items. If I go to the pre-filling form via encoded URL on Airtable document, you can see that we have to write something and it's pre-filled and with a question mark. And I'm going to show you how to, but yeah, I need to first tell you that for the blank spaces, use plus. And for these kind of characters, you can do this instead, and you have to write it if you have something like that on your, let's say, URL or on your name. Okay. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to pass a question mark, and this tells the URL that we have more instructions. Okay. So I'm going to write pre-fill and underline. As you can see on the document, we have to put the underline and we have to write the job, let's say, plus title, because this is the name of the field that we want to pre-fill, and it has a blank space. So we're going to replace it with plus, as you can see. And I'm going to say equals to, let's say, content plus writer. Okay. And if I go back to, let's say, let me just copy and paste this. I'm going to paste it before we get messed up. Okay. If I go back to my data, you can see that under the jobs, we do have a content writer, and everything needs to be capital here on the first letter, on the first character, I mean. And in between them, we do have a blank space. Oh, so, okay, I'm gonna basically paste the URL that we just created, and I'm gonna hit enter. And as you can see, the first title is gonna be content writer. The job title is gonna be content writer. Okay. And I'm gonna say Maz, London, and resume. I'm gonna upload something. Okay. And for the description, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm gonna submit the form, and basically all of these processes are customizable. I don't have a pro plan. So let's go back to the, what's it called, to the data that we have and the content writer. As you can see, it says unnamed applicant. I don't know why it says unnamed applicants, but yeah, if I go to the applicants, you can see that my, let's say, my submission is there and I can see the data. Okay. And these are the default, let's say, records. So I'm going to fast forward and delete them. All right. As you can see, the record is cleaned up now. And this is my submission. And if I go to the jobs, you can see that it was loading basically. You can see that Maz applied for the content writer job title. Okay, so what I'm going to do in the next part, I'm going to pass the exact URL that we just created with, let's say, Prefill forms into Framer. And for that, what we need to do is actually we need to create another record here, another column, and then pass the, let's say, the URL that we just created and just replace some of the items with the job titles that we have on each of these records. All right, first of all, as I told you, we need to create another column and I wrote the prompt. So I said that add another column titled as apply link and put this URL into it. What it's going to do is actually, it's going to write the exact same URL. Instead, I'm going to prompt it to just change the job title values to each of those job title values that we have. All right, I wrote the prompt and I said that only change the job title value to each record's value. And I'm going to hit enter and I'm going to fast forward to see what it comes up with. All right, the job is done. And if I scroll to the right, you can see that all of the links are prepared here with the form. If I click on this one, you can see that it's going to redirect us to the software engineer, which is the first one. And all of those links are working fine. For example, this business analyst, and yeah, as you can see, it's going to load the business analyst, let's say, form. And we do have a single form, but it's perfect for all of the job titles that we have, and user can basically apply for all of those. And in the next part, I'm going to pass all of those links into the apply button that we have on Framer, which is this one. All right, in this part, we just need to basically fetch all of these apply links to the CMS that we just created. And for that, I'm going to open up CMS and try to hit sync, and it's going to load a little bit. And as you can see, oh yeah, it's not synced. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the manage and try to see, oh yeah, see, this one is disabled. So I'm going to enable this one and then just basically hit that import jobs again. And as you can see, if I open up one of these jobs, you can see that this apply one is created here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the button that we have. I'm going to create a variable for this and call it apply link, and just basically go back to the home page and give it the link that we just created. Where is it? Okay, here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to publish my website. Okay. And if I click on my website URL, you can see that all of the jobs that we have. And for example, if I click on this marketing specialist and hit apply, I'm going to be redirected to the forms that we just created. And the job title is going to be, let's say, pre-filled. And I'm going to name it as full name, Amin, and London, and yep, the resume. I'm going to upload something. All right. And the description, something, and I'm going to hit submit. And if I go back to my, let's say, applicants, you can see that the new record is collected under the applicants. I mean, with all of those informations that we just filled. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you have anything, like any questions, don't hesitate. Just drop a comment below. I'll reply ASAP. And until the next one, I see you. Bye.